for your information. All right, so welcome. We are recording now, so I'll say welcome once again and Happy New Year. And thank you so much for joining. My name is Barbara. I live in Braeside. I live in Ridgewood Terrace. And I've been teaching yoga for 4 years. I've been doing yoga for about 40 years every day. And it's one of my great pleasures to share yoga and share the wisdom and the beautiful self-care piece of yoga. So welcome and thanks for joining me, for getting up early on New Year's Day. And again, I am recording this, so if you'd like to share this with friends or do it later in the week, the recording will be live for about a week. So welcome once again, and I'm so honored and privileged to be your tour guide this morning through a sequence of chair yoga. All right, we're just going to sit back, let our chairs take our weight, relax into our chairs. We may have some visitations from a lovely puppy named Aisley. We may hear her in the background. She might come and get very affectionate, so that'll be fun if she joins us. Okay, we're sinking back in our chairs. Maybe your feet are reaching the floor. Perhaps they aren't. If they aren't, just getting comfortable with toes touching and letting the chair take our weight. And let's just begin by noticing our bodies, noticing our physical body, just checking in if there are any kind of grumpy areas this morning, anything that's kind of stiff or tight or a little bit restrictive. Just we'll get into those areas, and for now we're just going to send lots of love to those areas. We just had another person join us. Welcome. We're just sitting back in our chairs, beginning to connect with our bodies and noticing our physical energy this morning. Noticing we're feeling kind of tired or sluggish, noticing if we feel alert or clear or light, if any body parts or corners feel kind of grumpy, just giving permission for the body to be exactly where it's at. Taking a couple of deep breaths into the space where we're at. And as we begin to bring our focus to the breath, we'll also check in on our energetic, our emotional bodies, just noticing where we're at in our mental, emotional space this morning. Are we feeling positive? Are we feeling kind of joyful or happy? Are we feeling a bit concerned, a bit uncertain? What's this woman going to be leading me through this morning? This random stranger. So just, again, giving yourself permission to be wherever you're at. We all have a dark side. We all have dark corners. We all have a light side, and embracing all of it. Whatever part is showing up, just giving all of it permission to be here with you this morning. And as we breathe, noticing our breaths become slower and deeper and longer, and noticing where we feel the expansion on the inhalation. If a hand wants to drift to that area, to your belly or your sternum, let it do that, whatever feels really intuitive. In yoga, we really follow our inner guides, our intuition. So noticing the expansion of the inhale, noticing the release when we exhale, and noticing the spaces in between. We breathe in, we inhale, we expand. There's a bit of a pause before we tumble into the exhale. Another bit of a pause before we again inhale. So noticing that there are the 4 steps to the breath, the 4 phases of the breath. And as we're breathing, let's set an intention for today's class. Intention that can take us forward into the new year that's dawning today. I would like to propose, just a suggestion, an idea that we set an intention around self-care. Here you are practicing beautiful self-care by showing up today, by being here with your body, with your chair. So what can self-care look for you going forward? The following hour, the next hour, today, tomorrow, and as we step forward into the year that's beginning. An intention can be an affirmation, it can be a word, it can be a phrase or a color or a feeling. It can be something, a word like surrender. It can be gratitude. It can be an affirmation saying that I am perfect, whole, and complete. I give my body the care and love that it needs. Anything that's coming up for you, I invite you to set that intention and tuck it into your heart space. Taking a couple more deep, cleansing breaths. Letting the eyes flutter open. If they've been closed, we'll just scooch forward to the edge of the chair, allowing the feet to rest firmly on the floor in front of you. I have my yoga mat here. It doesn't have to be so. Floor, carpet is good. Bare feet is recommended because we feel more through the nerves of the feet. Our feet are highly innervated, and it's much more stimulus for the brain when we have bare feet. So just a suggestion. It's also safer because we don't slide. All right, we're sinking our feet down. Let's roll back our shoulders, lift up our hearts, lift up our smiles, get really tall to the crown of the head as we sink our hips down into the depth of the chair. Now breathing in as we lift our arms up to reach at the top. Inhaling, big inhale. Hands come together, exhaling, bringing them down to our heart center like we're saying a prayer. And maybe we start to roll the spine a little bit. We'll inhale up again to reach. Big breath in. Hands pressing together, coming towards the heart. As we exhale, our tailbone tucks underneath, and we round the spine a little bit. Breathing into reach. Exhaling, coming down to our heart space. And it's kind of fun to let our breaths get big and loud. There's a reason for that. Breathing in, exhaling down. We're activating our parasympathetic nervous system when we have these big, beautiful, audible breaths. And that's our break. It's our rest and digest. It's the antidote to all the running around and stress and hurry and worry that we sometimes feel. We'll do 2 more of these big, beautiful cleansing breaths, reaching up, exhaling down to heart center. The spine is rounding. We're tucking our belly button towards our spine. We'll do 1 more, breathing up. Down we go on the exhale. We'll reach up 1 more time, big stretchy breath. This time we're turning towards the left side, the right hand's placing on the outside of that opposite knee, as the left hand just drops behind, maybe finds a piece of the chair. Let's let our hearts just lead us into a nice twist. Keep your head at a comfortable level, chin not too high, maybe tucked a little bit, and we're breathing. Now we'll come back to center, breathing our hands up the middle. Exhaling to the other side of the left hand, drifting to the outside of that opposite knee. The back hand is reaching for a piece of the chair. Our heart is leading us into the twist. We're breathing, we're smiling. Our hearts are lifted and open. Gentle twist. We'll do 1 more each side. Breathing up to center, reaching to the center. Smiling, exhaling, twisting to one side. The first side with that right hand drifting to the outside of the left knee, other hand drifting behind, hearts leading us into the twist. 1 more, breathing up to center. Exhaling to that second side. As we smile, lift our hearts, embrace the day. Breathing up to center again. Take your hands down on the exhale. Shoulders just reaching towards each other at the back, dropping them into our back pockets. Let's breathe in to get tall. Exhale, let that left hand just slide down the leg of the chair. As the right hand floats up and just say good morning to your elbow, looking up past the elbow and letting both feet just press gently into the mat, into the floor, into the carpet. Breathing up, bring that hand over. We'll exhale, take the other side, letting the hand slide down the leg of the chair if there's a leg there. As the arm floats up, say good morning to your other elbow. If that hand's more comfortable on the seat of the chair or your waist, we're all built differently. We're all sitting in different chairs. So just finding your version of this. We'll breathe that hand up and exhale. Now we'll take 1 more reach to the first side, coming up over the side. We're planting our feet into the floor, the earth, the mat, especially the opposite foot. So if we're tipping over to the left side, we're pressing our right foot into the floor, saying hello to that right elbow. Let's breathe it up again. Exhale that second side. Down we go, over we go like a teapot. Good morning elbow as the opposite foot sinks into the earth. Breathing. Lovely, lovely. Let's breathe back up. Let's take hands to the small of our back. Let our wings disappear behind us. We're lifting our hearts. We're tall through the crown. We're pressing our feet down. Let's breathe in to lift our hearts, lift our smiles. Exhale, dropping our hearts down right onto our knees. Going to come right over into a forward fold. Let our chest rest on our knees. Hands drop to the floor. The head just resting between the knees. And we're breathing. Breathing into our back. Breathing into our bellies. Big breaths. Now taking the right hand to the ankle of the left foot, the left hand to the left hip, just taking it a little twist. Maybe the arm floats all the way up to the sky. Maybe not. Whatever feels good, we're just taking a gentle twist as we breathe. Changing sides, letting that hand float down to find the opposite ankle or heel or shin. As the opposite hand floats to the hip, into the twist, maybe it comes up. Lots of options. We're breathing and letting the hand float down. Back into our forward fold, leaning forward, a breath here, and then pressing feet down as we slowly roll up. Stacking a vertebrae coming up through the spine, one vertebrae on top of the other. Lovely. We're going to breathe our hands up to make a steeple with our fingers at the top. Big breath, reach again. Exhale over to one side and again say hello to the opposite elbow. This is called moon or reed pose. Chair version thereof. Breathing up to center, big stretchy reach. You get some traction in the spine. Up we go. Exhale, second side. Hello, elbow. Good morning, happy new year. We'll breathe back up to center, one more each side. I'm getting warm. Other side, maybe it's because I'm sitting in front of the fireplace. And we'll come up to center again, big reach. Exhale, second side. Great, coming back, let's just bring our arms down, shake them out. We're gonna breathe our arms, shoulders, up to our ears. Breathe in, exhale, drop them back into our back pockets. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, down and back, tall through the spine. One more time, inhaling up, I love these circles. Exhaling down. Those were kind of little circles. Going to go the other way. Going to breathe the shoulders up. Exhaling down the front. Inhaling back and up. Exhaling down. One more, inhaling up. And let's keep them here for a minute. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And drop the shoulders. Alrighty, tall through the spine, pressing our feet into the earth, lifting up our hearts. We're just going to take our right ear to our right shoulder, tipping over the side. As the opposite shoulder just invites itself down. And we're breathing and we're smiling. Breathing up to the middle. Exhaling the second side. We'll do one more each side. Breathe up to center. Exhale the ear, the shoulder. Maybe the opposite hand wants to drop down to reach towards the floor. And we'll breathe back up to center. Second side, ear to shoulder. Maybe that hand floats down to reach for the floor with nice strong fingers. And great, let's come on up. All right, we're gonna wake up the legs a little bit. Let's just do some windshield wipers with the knees. Butterfly wings, okie dokie. Taking our right toe up, tippy toe on the mat or the floor. Just gonna open that knee outwards. Breathe it in back to center. Exhale it open. Just getting some gentle movement in the hip joint here. Inhaling to middle, exhaling. One more, inhaling to center. Exhaling outside. So we're just, like I say, moving that joint a little bit, warming it up, changing sides. The left foot up on its tippy toe. Shoulders are back, our hearts are lifted. Gonna breathe in. Exhale that knee outwards to the side, opening up a hip joint. Inhale, coming across your toes to center. Exhaling to the outside. Inhaling to center. Just feeling that joint gently moving. If any of you have had hip replacements or have any hip options, we need to be very gentle and loving with the hips, of course. So we'll just really be mindful of that. Okie doke. Let's take our left knee up to our chest. Give ourselves a hug. Breathing. Phone is ringing. It's not for me, I assure you. And we'll just extend that leg by taking the hand under the thigh. Reaching the foot towards your camera. My foot looks really big when I do this. My size 10s look like size 15s. And breathing the knee back up. Gently taking it out to the side. If that's available for you, please just go only as far as is safe and comfortable. All right, letting that knee come down. Let's just butterfly wing our knees a couple more times. Now taking the other knee up, I believe I'm mirroring you, by the way. So this is actually my left knee. I'm calling my right knee. As the left foot's on the earth, we're just giving ourselves a little hug with that knee, with that bent knee, as we breathe. And now taking the hands underneath the thigh to reach that leg forward, giving it a nice stretch. As we breathe and we have our hearts lifted, let's breathe that knee back to a bend. Gently invite it to the outside. I'm just going to quickly see if anybody else is on here while we enjoy that outward rotation. Okay, bringing that knee back. Shake it up, wiggle it out. Now let's get a little more action going in our feet. We'll start with our left knee. We'll bring it up to a bend. Exhale it to reach out. Inhale it up. Exhale down the floor. We're going to start slow. Inhale the other knee up. Exhale to extend the foot. Inhale to a bend. Exhale down. So let's do one more of these. Just with the legs to get it sorted out. Exhale down. So we're coordinating the breath with the move. Exhale. Inhale. Down. Adding some arms. Inhale that knee up with the arms coming up. We'll take it slow to show you. Exhale the opposite arm coming forward, whereas the arm of the same leg is reaching to the side. We'll inhale up to the bend again. Exhale down. The brain's going, what are you doing here? Inhale the knee and the arms up. Exhale, foot extends as the opposite arm reaches forward. And the other arms to the side. Breathing it up to center. Exhale now. Let's try that. See how it goes. Inhale the knee up. Exhale to extend. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Getting it figured out. It's a bit unusual, but it's really good for the brain. Do these kind of oppositional exercises. And we keep our balance by going slowly, using the breath, and the foot that's connected to the mat, the floor, is pressing down to find our stability. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. You doing okay? Feel free to take a break anytime. If it's getting a bit strong, you can modify it. You can stop doing the arms. You can stay with the arms and still the feet. Again, this is your yoga. This is your practice. And the way it looks for you is entirely different than the way it looks for me. Or if there's anyone sitting next to you. Let's do 47. Just kidding. Let's do, after this one, 2 more each side. Here we go. I'm breathing loudly. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling and down. Last one. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, inhaling, and down. Good job. Let's shake out the arms. Let's get a nice wide stance on the feet. turning the heels inwards a little bit. So we're noticing that the knees are tracking over the feet. Just take a look at that. Make sure that's a straight line, knees over the feet. Just coming forward, placing our elbows on our knees, like we're telling someone a secret, pressing one elbow into the knee so that shoulder comes forward as we breathe. Other side, pressing other elbow into that knee. I find that my hand kind of floats down. That shoulder comes forward, getting a nice stretch into the shoulder joint. And that's one more each side, breathing in. Exhaling, shoulder coming forward. Forearm pressing against the inner thigh. Inhaling up. Exhaling. The great thing about chair yoga is we can use a lot of these little tips and tricks throughout our day, especially if we do a job where we're sitting in a chair. A lot of us sit too much. So I love chair yoga because it does teach us little tips and tricks that we can use throughout the day. All right, let's face forward with our feet again. We're still on the edge of our chair, so the soles of our feet can really be firmly planted. Taking whatever version of this is works for you. I'm placing my left foot on top of my bent right knee. If this is too strong, just take a different version of it. It can even be crossed at the ankles. If this is your version, perfect. If the foot makes it up to the knee, great. If not, that's great too. Whatever version is working for you. Again, if you have hip issues, crossing of the ankles might be just perfect, might be all that you want to do. So find your version. And we're just lifting our heart, sinking into this. If we want to go a little deeper, we can lift the heel of the bottom foot. Notice when we do that. And this also works with the ankle cross. We get a little deeper in when we lift that heel up. So finding whatever version feels good. If we want to go even a little deeper, we can invite the heart to come forward towards that front ankle. So again, just playing with this, exploring. It's your pose. You're in the driver's seat. Take whatever version feels really good. This gets very deeply into the hip joint. It's a seated form of pigeon pose. We have really good control because we are seated. We're not on the floor with our body weight. We're hovering over our joint. We have a lot of control. So find your version. Let's come up out of that. Letting that knee cross over. If this is available to you, again, if this is too strong, crossed ankles is perfect as well. Cross the knees. Let's take opposite hand to that cross knee. Once more into a twist, letting our hearts take us into the twist. Breathing. Unwinding from that opposite twist. Opposite hand on that knee. Releasing from that. Let's uncross the legs. We'll do the other side. The leg that we just crossed, planting that one on the floor. The opposite leg is going to either cross at the ankle, at the shin, or maybe it comes all the way up to rest on the top of that bent knee. Again, finding your version, listening to your body. And one side may feel very different from the other side. So being very honoring of this side. We roll back our shoulders. We're lifting our hearts. And if we want to go a little deeper, once again, we can invite that bottom heel just to lift up a little bit. And as we do so, we feel it going deeper into that hip joint. So again, finding your version. If you want to go even deeper, we can invite that heart forward towards that ankle, that lower leg. Again, exploring. Maybe this side feels more open and free than the other. Maybe it feels more constricted. Honoring that, just taking it to where it feels like you're getting a nice stretch, but you're not in any way compromising the joint. Really listening to the joint. Breathing, of course. One more breath. Now dropping that heel, let's take that leg to cross over the bottom leg. Again, if this means crossing at the ankles, that's beautiful. Finding your version. All right, we're tall through the heart as always. Our shoulder blades drop back. Taking the opposite hand to the top of that bent knee as we take the twist in the chair. Leading with our hearts, smiling, lifting our hearts. Beautiful. And then we'll just take the opposite twist, other hand floating to the inside of that knee or thigh. Lovely. Let's come on out of that. Grab a drink, your tea or your water. I'll grab my tea from the stove. It is piping hot. And thank you to my friend Louise for lending me her gorgeous space here in front of her fireplace. So we're turning now to one side. We're going to find a couple of right angles with our legs so that the front leg is right angle straight down. And that front knee is just kind of hovering over the mat. We're on the edge of the chair. Hang on to the chair so you don't fall. Feeling really strong here. We've got our toes bent here for support. So we've got some good mathematics going here. We've got some nice angles. Lifting our hearts, let's take that long hand, reach it up and over towards the back of the chair. Nice side stretch. Breathing. One more breath. Hand coming back over. Now, if it's available to you, we'll just straighten that back leg. Our toes are still tucked. Pressing through the toes of that back leg, so getting a nice stretch to those toes, hey? And we've still got the right angle happening here in the front leg. And we want to press that front leg straight down. When we activate the muscles this way, we're actually building strength to protect our joints. So let's press that foot straight down. We've still got the chair to support us. If we feel extra strong and want to hover up off the chair, that's an option for you. Or use a chair for support. Whatever feels friendly and available. And breathing our hands up to a nice stretch up the front line. Breathing and reaching. Doesn't that feel great? Breathing in to reach. Let's exhale, sweep the hands down towards the feet. While we're down there, planting whatever hand is opposite the forward foot. For me, my left foot's forward, my right hand is planting on the inside of that left foot. Pressing in the floor. If you need longer arms, we can make a gorilla hand, pressing knuckles down. If you have a yoga block, you can use the yoga block. So pressing that hand down into the earth beside the inside of that foot. As the other hand floats to the hip, we get a nice twist. Maybe that hand floats up. And we're breathing. Bringing that hand back on down. Let's take both hands to that bent knee. Rolling back our shoulders. Now, we're going to transition to a warrior two. The back leg that's straight, we're going to just pivot on the chair and turn that foot so it's facing forward. Now, if this is not available, especially if you've had a hip replacement or hip issues, your warrior two might look like this. This front leg might be at a right angle to the other leg. Or maybe you've got the full extension, but just find your version of this. So we have the front foot with the bent knee is facing like parallel with the long end of the mat. And the back foot is parallel with the short end of the mat. We're nice and tall. Let's open up our arms to reach. Warrior two in the chair, breathing into reach. Exhale, bending that front elbow onto the bent knee as the arm comes over the top into our chair version of side angle pose. Breathing back through our warrior two. Exhaling as the right hand, or the back hand I should say, slides down that leg. This is exalted warrior. Another option is that hand can wrap around the waist. Either one. Breathing back through warrior two. Exhaling, bending the front elbow onto that knee. Inhaling to open. Exhaling, exalted warrior. So we're moving with the breath here. Breathing in. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. We'll do one more. Inhaling through warrior two. Exhaling. And inhaling. And exhaling. Beautiful. Let's find a warrior two one more time. Taking that front hand all the way back down towards the floor as the top hand reaches a forward triangle pose. Again, if this is too strong, that elbow can stay bent on the knee. The hand can float, doesn't have to reach the floor. Just getting a lovely stretch up the side body, right? All right, coming out of that, lovely. Let's take our feet to face the front. Just kind of wiggle around. Do what you need to do. Maybe the feet want to kind of move. Maybe the hips want to move. Finding whatever feels lovely here. And we'll make our way to the other side. So this is scooching to the outside edge of the chair once again. That front knee nearest the camera, your device is dropping down, checking out our right angles again. Back in math class, we've got a right angle in the front leg pressing down. We've got a bent, beautiful right angle in that front knee. And the knee's just hovering. The hand nearest the chair, grab onto some chair, other arm reaching up and over the side. Breathing in as we come over the back of the chair into a lovely side stretch. Breathing, breathing. And smiling. One more breath. And we'll come up out of that. Back to our first pose. Now here's the option where we can either extend that left leg with the tucked toes into a straight leg, or if that's too strong, that leg can simply come to a right angle, or anything in between. So just make sure that your knees are aligned well, that you don't feel any pain in your knees. So we've still got that beautiful right angle pressing down into here. Here comes Ainsley. Hi, Ainsley. Oh, I love you, pooch. Taking our arms as we breathe up, big and tall, over that front line, big stretch. We're pressing the back feet, back toes. Maybe our hips hover over the seat of the chair if we're pressing down with that front lower leg. Just an option. We're breathing, we're smiling, we're lifting. Let's exhale, lower our hands down to the floor, bowing over that bent knee, placing that hand on the inside of that front foot, or maybe it's gorilla hand to make the arm longer. We're pressing that hand into the floor. We're pressing the foot into the floor. The other hand floating towards that back hip. That's towards the back of the chair. Into the twist. Maybe the arm floats up. Breathing. One more breath. We'll come out of that. Take our hands back toward bent knee in front. Lift up our hearts. Roll back our shoulders. And now that extended leg is going to pivot. So we're opening up the hips here. That back foot, I'm just going to shift here until more in camera. That back foot again is parallel to the short end of the mat, whereas that front foot with the bent knee, that leg, it's facing parallel with the long end of the mat. So we've got this warrior two pose happening here. Opening up the arms, inhaling to open, big stretch. Breathing in to reach. Exhale, bending that front elbow onto the knee. Other arm comes over. Side angle. Breathing. Breathing in through warrior two. Exhaling, exalted warrior, where that back hand slides on the leg or wraps around the waist. Breathing in through warrior two. We'll do a few of these during into a flow, coming over. Inhaling, open. Exhaling, exalted warrior. Letting the breath move the body. Inhaling. We'll do one more of these. We'll inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Reaching, and that front arm is just going to drop down now towards the floor as the other arm floats up to a version of triangle pose. Opening up through the front here. We feel an opening in the hips. Our feet are pressing. We're breathing. And let's come on out of that. Grab on the chair, wiggle around. Maybe some windshield wiper knees side to side. That feels nice after all that hip opening, hey? Beautiful. Now we're going to do a little something standing. Let's stand up. I'm going to move my chair so I stay on camera here. You can either have the chair any way you want. We just want to use the back of the chair for support here. Pardon me while I adjust things. Alrighty, so hanging on to the chair, it's there for stability should we want it, there for safety. The foot that's nearest the chair, let's let that be our standing leg. Imagine the tree trunk, little mini bend in the knees as we press that foot into the earth, and the other leg is going to find either a kickstand pose down by the ankle, maybe up below the knee. Please avoid the knee. We can also bring it up above the knee, finding your version. This is tree pose. Arms, branches, wherever you want them to be. Again, the chair is there for your safety and security if you want to have something to hold on to. So again, your version. This is not about how it looks. This is about testing kind of our balance, right? Just kind of, I don't like to use the word pushing, but just kind of improving our balance. Our hearts are lifted and open. We're tall through the spine. We're firmly grounded through the roots of that standing foot. Our branches are powerful and strong. And we're staring straight forward at what we call in yoga our drishti point. It's an unmoving point in the distance that, because it's unmoving, it helps us to stay stable. We find our stability by pressing into the standing foot, pressing into the earth. We're breathing. I've got company. Beautiful. And let's come on out of that. And before we release it, holding on to the chair for support, letting that other arm just find that ankle as a knee goes straight down. Now, if this is too strong, you need to sit back in the chair. Absolutely. We're breathing. If we want to go a little deeper with a stretch, we can press that back foot against the hand into what's called dancer pose. If we feel safe and secure, we can reach forward with that hand, or it can stay holding on to the chair. Breathing, getting that nice stretch in those quadricep muscles in the thighs, right? Feel that? And let's release that. Breathe it, shake it out, wiggle it out, stepping side to side. And we'll do the other side. If you want to bring the chair to the other side, you can. I'm going to do that actually. When I turn around, I want to do this so that I continue to face you. All right, we've got the chair there for stability, for safety, for security. We're rooting that foot, the other foot this time, into the earth, micro bend in the knees, finding those beautiful roots of that foot. That's our tree trunk. That's keeping us stable. The other foot, either kickstand by the ankle, below the knee, on the calf muscle, or above the knee. Please avoid the knee joint. It doesn't want that kind of torquing, that kind of pressure. Finding your version and your arms wherever they want to go. Find your branches. I've got slippery leggings this morning. I'm going to take it down here. And again, your tree on one side may be quite different than on the other side. So giving yourself permission to have your tree hold on to the chair. If that feels stable and secure, find your version. Our hearts are lifted, rooting down through that standing leg for stability as we notice a micro bend in the knee to protect the knee joint. Breathing. Let's take 2 more breaths here. As we relax the muscles of the face, the jaw, the lips, the tongue, between the brow. Now coming out of that is that floating hand finds that ankle, the knees going straight down, straight down towards the earth. This might be enough of a nice stretch in the quadriceps. If you want more, we can press that back foot into the hand as the chair hand either stays on the chair or maybe it reaches forward. Again, depending upon your stability here, find your version. The chair is there for you. And we're breathing and stretching and opening, and let's release that. Good job, everybody. Shake it out. Now let's face the back of the chair. Just wiggle around, make the adjustments you need to for this. Taking a couple of steps back so we can find a nice, sorry, Ainsley, flat back. Aw, I'm sorry, sweetheart. So I'm kind of wiggling around here between the fireplace and my mat so I can get like a bit of an L shape. Nice flat back here. Hands can stay on the top of the chair. They can be down on the sides of the chair. Enjoying a nice flat back here. Let's root our left foot firmly into the floor or the mat as the right heel, floats. Oops, I'm hitting something here. I just have to shift. The right heel is floating straight up behind us, like there's a string on the heel. We have a micro bend in the standing leg. That heel is just floating up, and the hips are staying really square. We're not opening up the hip, we're keeping them square to the floor. It doesn't go really high. Toes are pointing towards the earth. We're breathing in. Let's exhale, bring that knee to the nose as we round the spine. Inhale to reach. Easy. What are you eating? Eating a leaf. Reaching. Exhaling, knee to nose. Belly button to spine. Inhale to extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to extend. My belly button is really crunching towards the spine here. Get our abdominals working. Exhaling. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling to reach. Exhale, the knees carving a perfect line on this way to the nose. And last one, reaching on the inhale. Exhaling to crunch. Playing that foot. Wiggling around, whatever your body wants to do here. Maybe some hip circles will feel nice. That's fun. Let's do that. Let's just go with it. Circling our hips, hula hoop. Breathing. Other direction. Yoga is always a study in improvisation. We take it as it feels like the right thing to do. My body wants this. Maybe yours does too. All right, finding our nice flat planted feet again as we flatten our back. Do that nice L shape. The right foot or the opposite foot, whatever the opposite foot is, planting into the earth. Tie a string to the other heel as the heel floats up and the toes are pointing towards the earth. Not going high, hips stay square. We're breathing into reach. Exhale, bringing that knee to the nose as the belly button squeezes towards the spine. Inhale to reach. Exhale, squeeze. So these can be as small as you want them to be. If this is strong, you can just take the foot from the floor up to the knee. Find your version. Give yourself lots of permission to modify. If you want a little more, there's always possibility to press a little harder. We get more from activating our muscles, pressing into the earth, feeling the muscles working. And let's do 2 more of these. Exhaling to crunch. And last one, reaching on the inhale. You got this. Exhaling, crunching. Good job, everybody. We'll just shake out of that. Stand up. Move around. We're going to find our chair again. And taking a seat in the chair again. Lovely, everybody. Let's take a wide stance. Again, our toes are inwards a little bit, so our knees are tracking over our feet. Let's find some goddess arms. Goddess arms are where our arms are parallel to the floor. I'm just going to take off my overshirt here because I'm very warm in front of the fire, and you can see a little better. So we've got the goddess arms parallel here. Our shoulders are squeezing together. We've got nice open palms, starfish hands. Breathing up to reach as our heels lift. Inhaling up. Exhaling, squeeze the shoulders together, heels dropping down. Inhaling up. And we can add more by pressing through the toes, right? Squeezing, inhale, pressing up, pressing toes down. Exhale down. And again, inhaling up. And again, exhaling down. Now our arms are open. Let's inhale. Let's squeeze them together. Upper arms pressing together. Inhale to open. Exhale, squeeze. And let's press the feet into the earth. Press, press, press. Inhale, open the elbows. Exhale, squeeze them together. We're pressing feet down into the mat. Inhaling, open, and squeezing. I'm going to keep them here now. We're squeezing, pressing those arms together. Press. I'm going to inhale them up a couple of inches. It's a heel lift again. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Press hands together. Press forearms. Inhale up. This is strong. It's small, but it's strong. Inhaling up. Toes pressing down. Heels lifting. Inhale up. Exhale down. Oh yeah. One more inhale up. We got this. Down we go. Let's shake out the arms. Woo-hoo. Bring the feet back in. One arm up and over the top. Exhale it, dropping it down between the shoulder blades. The other arm reaching. Maybe you get a bind. Maybe not. Maybe you grab a sock or something to make the arms longer so that one hand can reach the top end, the other end. Lots of options here. Maybe they reach. Maybe you're just grabbing onto your shirt. We're just getting a nice opening the shoulders here as we breathe. Lifting up the heart, relaxing the facial muscles. Now that top arm is going to simply come across the front of our chest as the other arm cradles it with a bent elbow, looking over that shoulder. Nice stretching through the shoulders, releasing that other arm coming up, big stretch up and over the top, bending the elbow to reach between the shoulder blades. Other arm searching behind for those fingers. Again, maybe they don't reach. Maybe they're finding some shirt. Maybe you've got a sock handy. Maybe you do get the bind where the fingers can interlace. Doesn't matter what version of it. We're just getting a lovely opening through the chest and the shoulders. And again, if this is too strong on either side, if you've got something going on with the shoulder, please just ease out of this and modify or avoid it altogether. Breathing and lifting our hearts. Now that arm on top is going to come across the front of the body as it gets cradled with the bent elbow, the other arm looking over that shoulder. Breathing. Lovely. Let's release everybody. We're going to breathe our arms up, shoulders again up to the ears. Exhale, drop them back behind. Now walking our feet forward, so our feet are under our knees, placing our hands on the top of our thighs. We're going to do a seated version of cat-cow. Pressing the feet down into the earth, pressing. Let's press those hands onto our thighs, onto our quadriceps. Shoulders are squeezing together at the back, our hearts are lifted. We're going to breathe in to lift our hearts, lift our smiles. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck our tails. Inhale, pressing hands and feet down so our hearts lift up with a smile. Exhale, rounding the spine, tucking our tail so our pubic bone is traveling towards our sternum as we exhale. Inhale, pressing down, hearts lifting, a smile lifting. Exhale, rounding down. We're still adding that pressure of the hands against the quadriceps and the feet into the earth. We're pressing down to lift up our hearts, inhaling, exhaling down. This is a really great exercise. It's wonderful for the spine. We're giving the spine the gentle movement that it loves. We're activating the muscles. We're using our quadricep muscles by pressing the feet into the earth. We're using our arm muscles by pressing down onto our quads. Getting a lot of bang for our buck here. Exhaling and rounding the spine. This time we're going to stay down there, let everything drop down, forehead to the earth, chest on the knees, forward fold. Breathing. Does that feel good? Breathing into our backs, into our bellies. Another inhale as we press feet down. Rolling up through the spine, arms coming up, hands are going to reach at the top as we breathe up to look at the hands at the top. They're pressing together, inhaling up to reach. Exhale, bring those prayer hands down. One elbow drifting to the outside of the opposite knee. So we got one elbow down now, one elbow straight up into a twist. Feeling our feet still pressing into the mat, the carpet, the floor, the earth. Breathing. And let's breathe those hands back up to center. Big, beautiful, tall reach. With a smile, exhaling, other side. Elbow to the outside of that front bent knee as we come into the twist. One more breath. And let's breathe it back on up to center. Let's exhale down. Let's take our hands down to the seat of the chair, rolling our shoulders back. And we're just going to press into the chair to lift up our torso. So this is like a seated version of bridge pose. We're pressing feet. We're pressing hands in the chair. We're breathing, breathing, breathing. Inhale, exhale, seat back on the chair. Let's do that again. Inhale, press hands down. Let the hips float up. Feet are pressing, hands are pressing, hips are floating, hearts are lifting. Exhale, hips to the chair. This is building some strength in our arms. Pressing down with arms and feet. Inhaling, hips up, pressing the hands down, pressing feet. And let's stay here for a moment. If we're good, we're going to just bend our elbows back a little bit, little bitty bends. Exhale. Inhale, straighten the elbow. Exhale, bend the elbow. So this is building our arm muscles. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Have to keep our upper body strong. Inhaling, pressing down, lifting our hips. Exhaling, this is strong, hey. Inhaling up. This time we'll drop everything down the chair, hips to the chair. And let's find a forward fold again, letting our body, our heart drop down between the knees. Feet can be as wide as you want. If you want to get nice and wide here, just go for it. Find your version of this forward fold. Whatever feels really good in your body. These inversion poses where our head is lower than our heart are very, very good for our parasympathetic nervous system, for anxiety, for stress, for sleep. It's very, very soothing, very calming for the nervous system. Breathing. Now walking our feet heel and toe back to about shoulder width apart. Taking our hands to our bent knees, rolling back up through the spine. Nice and tall. We're going to breathe our hands up one more time. Back where we started, exhaling a hand to the outside of the opposite knee. Other arm dropping behind into the twist. Beautiful. And we'll breathe our hands up to center again, nice and tall. Big stretch. Exhale, second side. As we smile, relax our facial muscles. And coming back to center. And getting comfy in your chair. If that means scooching back to lean against the chair, great. If you want to stay at the front of the chair, we're just going to rub our hands together. Get some nice heat going. Hover them over your face, over your facial bones. And now giving ourselves just a little bit of a massage. Using your fingertips gently. Maybe they're tapping, maybe they're doing gentle circles between your brow, your third eye, maybe around your temples, tapping, or gentle touches down over your jaw, along your chin, your lips. Now we're going to do something kind of fun. It's called Mukula Mudra. Mudra is a hand meditation or hand pose. Mukula Mudra, we simply take our thumb to meet our fingers, so it's like the beak of a bird. Now, by doing this, we're kind of channeling the energy in our hands to a point. Now, taking that bird beak, that funneled channel point of energy, to wherever you feel that there's discomfort or tightness in your body, whether it's your jaw. I'm going to take mine over to my shoulder. Just exploring here, taking those bird beaks, those points of energy, to different parts of your body. That might be just asking for a little more love, a little more self-care. After all, this is a self-care yoga class. Just finding those points. Maybe it's a shoulder, maybe it's a knee, maybe there's tension in your jaw, maybe your neck is tight. Just taking some beautiful breaths and sending loving, healing energy into those places. As we notice that we're coming back to the breath. Now, when you're ready, take as much time as you want with this. When you're ready, we'll just meet in a neutral position, hands on your knees, either palm open to receive or palms down to feel more grounded, maybe one of each. It's fun just to notice where intuitively your body is taking that. Letting the chair take our weight. Feeling our feet on the floor, or just our toes on the floor. Feeling our hearts lifted. Let's send some extra love and care to our jaw, our lips, our tongue, between our brow space. As we come back to the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Feeling that beautiful expansion of the inhale, the release of the exhale. Feeling our energy moving more freely through our bodies after giving it this hour of self-care. And just noticing how your body and spirit feel now. If there's any parts of your body and spirit that feel softer, more open, more receptive, warmer. Noticing if you feel a different kind of energy flow. If there are still clumpy areas, sending extra love to those spots. As we enjoy this return to stillness, this return just to our center, I'd like to share with you a Mohawk prayer that I think is a beautiful message to begin our new year. O Great Spirit, creator of all things, human beings, trees, grass, berries, help us, be kind to us. Let us be happy on earth. Let us lead our children to a good life and old age. These are people, give them good minds to love one another. O Great Spirit, be kind to us. Give these people the favor to see green trees, green grass, flowers and berries this next spring, so we all meet again. O Great Spirit, we ask of you. Coming back to the breath. And coming back to the intention that we set at the beginning of class, the intention around self-care. revisiting it, sending some love and breath into it and around it. And maybe choosing to tuck it into a safe place, into our heart space, into an imaginary pocket, knowing that it's always with us, and we simply need to take a breath, reach for our intention, reset it, speak it, feel it, honor it. And may that intention and others take us into the new year with health and grace and love and compassion, joy, prosperity and resilience. I wish for you all of those things as we begin another beautiful year together. And I thank you so much for joining me, for letting me be your guide this morning in a session of self-care New Year's yoga. My name is Barbara. I'm your neighbor. I'm so grateful to be here with you this morning. Go in love, go in joy, go in peace. Happy New Year. Namaste.